I do 3 different ones because I teach math, science, and social studies. I do a math one, and it asks kind of how do you want to learn math? How do you like to learn? And then it goes into what topics of math do you like to learn? And then where do you see math? Where do you learn math? Where do you use math? So that I can kind of get a sense of where they're using it and what topics are going to grab their attention most. And then I'll go from there to, I narrow it down into a roster of do they like to learn in small groups, individual, or with a partner. Last year I went from a binder that had these construction paper dividers to this year our papers are color coded. We have designed dividers. We're going to put in a sheet that has their picture on it and their learning style on it, so that it's just becoming more of them, and it travels from room to room, and then it will follow them to 5th grade, so that it just they become more responsible for it. So for students, for instance, right now I'm teaching story problems and how to respond to story problems. So students that have an interest in reading might be more apt to doing the story problems and helping write them. And then have students that actually like to solve math and like to do adding and subtraction kind of take over that and do the work of the problems. And then so that they kind of take over the classroom, they're then writing the problems for me, and I'm not doing that type of work. I'm actually doing the content, the bulk of it. Luckily, these kids come from a classroom that already experienced some of the Imaginarium expectations that we've been running through with the primary and secondary driver models. So the kids have come in, they somewhat know their learning style. So they're coming in already advocating and knowing what they need. They're asking to use putty. They're asking for the wobble chairs. They are telling me I'm a kinesthetic learner and I need to stand. And so I just didn't expect that. If you saw my classroom 4 years ago and you saw my classroom this year, you would be shocked in the amount of independence my students have and the agency those students have built in themselves. And even in this month, seeing that the growth in a month of here's a checklist, be responsible, and then we go in and check that checklist and knowing there's still accountability and they're taking care of it. And that's been the best part, is just seeing them take control of their own education.